in past time was 3 men and 2 horses. Why 2 horses? Because one horse must here rested, because very strong job for horse. In this mill goes 200 fresh kilos olives. Horse must go around 45 minutes. After that, pasta, squash olives, goes into the bags. Press, we will see later. Press go down, and oil, support with boiled water, goes into the pool. By hand they collect olive oil. Very important thing in this mill is coconut soap bags. Why coconut soap? Coconut soap is material, it doesn't have smell and taste. It's very good for olive oil, because olive oil is very sensitive. In past time, Dubrovnik Republic had economic ship that went to Goa in India and bring the coconut rope. You can see over there, coconut rope. And handmade made this bags in past time. When I was a kid, I helped here from for course and eat with workers. 1 year they want faster procedure. They put the concrete on the floor here, move the horse and put the tractor, cultivator. And tractor goes around. That year olive oil goes to garbage. Yes, because the smell, oil and oil gasoline mixed with olive oil, well, and next year, horse come back. Istina bila.
Poor Bella.
Agora se ne vezi.
Moraš ju odvezati, da. There she goes.
Ajde. Ajde. This is 2 stones big and smaller, and of course must go 45 minutes. 45 minutes for 1 meal.
That's it for her. That's the first.
I have to Čeka ona kjerov. Evo, ajmo. Thank you.
What is her treat?
Carrot.
Kjerov.
Yeah, carrot.
Carrot,
Carrots.
carrot.
Carrot. Do you know what that? Yes. We don't. Mogu pokazati ovaj jedan prorač.
Proba,
So, have you ever seen carrot? They grow also around Portugal a lot. Carobs, they use it also as, you can make chocolate, I mean, like a chocolate tasting, or you can make some different cookies and all. But when you open it up, the carobs will have inside a little seed. And when you, back in the day, on the old times, they would open it up, and when they were measuring the gold, then they would put these seed as a carrot.
Every pizza is the same.
Yeah, so the same weight, all of it. So that's where the carrot. No way!
Okay, after 45 minutes, after course, the course finished, pasta goes into the bags and press goes down. See? Okay.
It's getting harder and harder to pull.
Harder and harder. Press go down.
More torque, yeah.
They use this, the local name is small and big gun. Je, tako je bilo. Aj malo pušku daj, da lahko se križi.
Pita ako ti trebaš nagradu, znaš što je ono.
Ajde. Here in the corner, it was fire and boiled water. And every one basket needs one bucket of boiled or hot water. 1, 2, never mind. Boiled water used something like separator in past time to collect all olive oil here on the top. I hope that you understand. Now this is for small show for guests for presentation, but in real time, real work, it was very strong, hard and dangerous job because everything was wet and slippery. Sometimes they didn't have shoes because so wet, so slippery. It's possible to postala mogućnost da se ozlijediš.
So there was a big chance of getting injured. Yeah.
After olive oil goes into the pool, by hand they collect the olive oil. This olive oil needs 15 days at home in jar to separate oil on the top, water down. But in new press we need 3 months because it's different production, pasta production and mixed olive oil, and we need 3 months to separate. Now for you, I will compare new press and old press and hot press and cold press. This is old press and hot press. Use the boiled water. Here, 200 kilos needs 1 hour and a half. That's complete procedure. 1 hour and a half, 200 kilos. New press, it's cold press, 24 degrees, not only 24 degrees. That cold press and 1 tona per 1 hour. 1 tona per 1 hour. Power the button and drink the beer. In this press, you must bring olives, food for workers, drink for workers, wood for fire, and food for horse. In past time. In new press, nothing. Only money. This is home olive oil produced last year in new mill. This is golden color. Why golden color? Because the season of olive oil is October, November, and December. In October, you have on the same tree, you have green olives. In November, you have 50-50 or 70-30 black and green. And in December, you have black olives. We collect when it's 50-50 or 70-30, we have golden color. Istria, the other part of Croatia, they collect green olives and they have green olive oil. Always argue which olive oil is the best. But the complete Croatia have good and quality olive oil. The quality of olive oil depends on percent amino acids in oil. 0.1 to 0.3 extra virgin, 0.1 to 0.2 extra, 0.2 to 3 extra virgin, 0.3 to 4 virgin, and 5, 6, 7, that's bad or bitter oil. But in the past time, when produced in like this factory, they didn't have extra virgin olive oil. They didn't have chemistry laboratory, anything. They only have virgin oil. Original definition is they worked all day, 10, 11 mil. Last meal was going around 45 minutes. Put the pasta into the bags, but don't press. Go home. Don't press. Virgin oil, don't press. During the night, drop by drop, olive oil goes into the pool. In the morning, that 3, 4, 5 liters, that was virgin oil. That oil didn't use for eating and cooking. That was something like home medical oil for skin's problem, for hair's problem. That was virgin, home virgin oil. Now you have virgin extra virgin virgin, and everything. If you want also from bad or bitter oil, they produce the soap. This piece of soap produced my grandpa and grandma, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago. When we reparation the home, we found on attic. But I remember my grandma, he washed the laundry with this because they didn't have wash machine. They used for laundry and used for skin's problem. And when you till the ankle yes, good for massage with hot water. This is 1 liter caustic soda, 1 liter bad or bitter oil, and 1 liter water cooked together, put on the wind and sun, and in new time you can put rosemary and lavanda put inside, and you have the soap they use for everything. If you want to have good and good olive oil, you must have good and healthy tree. You must work all year, care about for tree, put the compost, put work. But we have, when we go, we have north and west, we have olive trees. When is the season, after tourist season, is the season of olive oil, then everybody go to land, father, mother, brother, sister, go to land, we put the plastic net down, we have something like plastic hand and scratching. In new time we have machine shaking the tree and the olive oil go, olives go down. That's good food, good drink, good company, but not for money. Because the next day or next weekend we go to the other families and friends and help each other. It's very important that day or next day, 2-3 days, go to production. Why? If you wait, the olives is fruit and starting fermenting, you will have better bitter oil. Italians say 12 hours from tree to olive oil, but that's not possible. But that's Italijani reču 12 ura, da bi trebalo to biti. Also, the olive tree called homely tree. Why? Because you can use everything. You have wood for fire, you have olives for eat, you have olive oil, you have food for goats, for animals, pastime. Also from the rest of procedure, they use for food for pig and for fire and for compost. For how to compost, you must wait 3 years on the sun and rain. Because if you put the first year, if you put in a garden, you will burn the plant. It's very strong compost because everything is together, squash pits and everything. It's very strong. The position of olive factory always it was on spring water because they needed lots of spring water for production. and behind the building it spring water and go into the sea. Few seconds how keep it olive oil. Now we keep it in steel and glass, but in the past time they didn't have steel and glass. In the front of mill you can see the stone bottle. They have only stone bottle. This stone bottle, it's from my grandpa from other side. Maybe they need 3-4 years to handmade made the bottle. You can see. Only have now, but now from olive oil factory to home we use plastic bottle, but only for transportation. When we come home we put in steel bottle. Steel bottle or glass bottle, room temperature, 50-60 degrees, and dark place, dark bottle, because it's no sun and light. It's very good for olive oil because it's sensitive. One interesting thing, how paid this job in past. We changed the money and changed the country during the time, but about $40 goes on 3 men and 2 horse. Kad se prevede, the horse have salary just like men, because if I have horse and I work here, I have 2 salaries per that day, because I care about for horse. Few sentences about mill. This mill made in Trieste, in Italy. Here you can see the stamp. Also Italian, the new mill, it's also from Italian, now in village. This is huckleberry, very strong wood. This is oak, stone wood, and this is cypress. It's good for moving, for light. This is also coconut rope, and this is metal screw. But in the past, it was wood screw. My grandpa worked in Botanic Garden in Trsteno, 3 kilometers west. They also have mill like this, but they didn't have horse. The workers go around. It's horrible. And this was it was wood screw, no metal. Caustic soda also used for clean up. Caustic soda only used for clean up this screw.
The screw.
One interesting taste, one simple test, how recognize the olive oil. You buy the olive oil in the store and put in the freezer, not freezer, fridge. Stay 1 day. If you have all froze, that's normal olive oil. That's not chemically tested. If you have half and half frozen, don't froze, you have olive oil mixed with the other oil. You understand? Fluoride oil or sunflower oil, or that's not chemical test, but you can see is your oil mixed with the other oil. That's doing because of the price, because this is expensive than fluoride oil. Okay, do you have a question?
Yeah, how does the product get from that over to the press?
Bucket.
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 Where do you pour it?
Maybe 1 or 2.
Where do you put it in up there?
No, check it. So you want to know how the
Well,
paste?
where does it go to get pressed?
You have to lift it up
No,
to
no,
press.
no. I mean, when you put the olives there,
It comes over.
yeah, so you put the olives here, they squash it,
Yeah.
and then they use these
Yes.
bags.
Right. And
They
then where
put
do you
it
put it?
in the bags,
In the bag.
in the
Okay.
bags. And
Oh,
then
in the bags?
In the
Yes,
bags.
yes.
You mean like the rope
Oh,
bags?
you lift that up.
These bags.
Yeah.
Oh, I
These
see.
bags.
I got you.
Vidi ono što je stavila tu.
Okay, the bags you sew.
So,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
oh, yeah.
so these bags are made out of coconut
Okay.
because
So that
they will not get
Oh, there you go.
You
Yeah.
put inside the
So
pasta
that's
and
right.
put
here.
under the press.
And then you put it under the press, and this is made out of coconut because it's not greasy, so it will never stain, so everything fluffy comes out. So that was the old process. So this is the essential. Kako podigneš ovo sve gore da staviš ove torbe?
Evo ovako. Very old, simple system.
That's why the screw, so you just put it up and down.
You move the wood.
Yeah. You will now move all of this.
Yeah.
And if you don't have as many, of course, this will adjust the height for the whole mill because you might have 4, 5, 6 bags. But usually 3 or 4 are the best because otherwise you could not squeeze the olives out. I mean the oil out. And then once it's out, then the process starts. Once you get this out again, you will have the compost that he talked about. And this, and you clear it up and put it somewhere in the garden, somewhere in the corner, because it takes up to 3 to 5 years to reuse it again.
Must be, must be 13 bags.
Yeah.
13 bags. The first bags, the name it's, I don't know why, but the name it's Baba. When you translate it to English, that's a grandma. This first, I don't know why.
Can you only use the bags one time?
Koliko puta upotrebljavamo?
Ne, to je, dok se ne,
As long as it's not broken or ripped off.
after season, after work, after season, they clean up in the sea and wait the other season.
Okay. Why not just make olives instead of olive oil? Is there more money to make olive oil than to just take all the olives and put them in a can and sell them as olives?
Zašto se proizvodi ako se... But do you think like a home, small part, or the overall, the whole?
Well, you have olives on the tree. Instead of turning them into oil, you take all the olives and you sell them, like in the markets or at the store, right? People buy olives. Is there less money to make olives than to make olive oil?
A zašto ne prodavamo masline?
Ne, pita zašto općenito se ne zašto se sad, to je malo pitanje za mene, pa ću se ja s tim zabaviti, ali zašto se više, zašto bi uopće neko išao u proces proizvodnje ulja a ne u samu prodavati gotovu maslinu koju pobereš sam. So, because the essence,
Zato što je skuplje.
the olive oil is, it's not all about money. Okay, so we have to go back in the history. The olive oil was produced by the Greeks and by the Romans first, all right? Even before that, even the Egyptians, they would put. Why? Because the essence of the oil is something, but they were not always used to eat. The olive oil was mostly produced back in the ancient times for the lamps, for the light. And also the Romans were putting it and pouring it into the sewage system. So especially the aqueducts, so that it will seal, make the seal out of so they don't lose the water. So when they were transferring the water to the houses, they will, then the oil was inside. It made a coat, and that was most of it. Then it was also used in the war. You would heat it up and pour it on your enemy. So the oil had a multi-purpose. But this is now in the modern times that we actually eat it and we use it as a lotion and stuff like that, right? So back in the day it was cold, but the light came from the oil. And the oil came from the olives. And they knew only that on the Mediterranean. Now we have different canola oils and all of that, but then back in the day that was it. But the olive oil itself has so much, it's so healthy. It's the top oil that you can actually use. And what he explained, the virgin oil, extra virgin oil. Back people didn't have that, you would produce it. But then once the chemical and the industry started coming in, then they sell, it's called free fatty acids. If they go below 0.0, this is called virgin oil. If you have a cold press, the first press, which means cold, what does it mean cold? Cold is the press that goes to 24 to 27 degrees Celsius in the pipes producing the oil. When the oil comes out, it has to go to the testing. 0.8 free fatty acids gets a label extra virgin oil. After a year, if you buy extra virgin, put it in a store at home, you forget about it. The fatty acids will go up, natural process, and you will actually have a virgin oil back home. And if you forget about it about a year and 2.5, then this will be a bad oil. You don't use it anymore. All right, so that's the difference. So this is a marketing now these days, right? There's pyrophonate, but this is the extra virgin oil so versus the virgin one. That's it. What about black olives? He explained it, but I'm not sure if you understood. Is the black olive a tree or is it
It's the same.
It's the same, yeah.
It's more or less the same.
It's the ripening process. But you have to be very careful when you go to the store to buy the black olive. They usually use it on the pizzas,
Yeah.
because the black olive not necessarily is a true black olive. These days they use chemicals, and they use not good, pretty much ripe green olive so they use it before so they can sell it more, and they use chemicals to dye it. And this is what we buy mostly in the stores. So you need to read the labels. Also, what I wanted to say is the press cold versus the hot press. When you go to Spain, Italy, and all these countries that produce lots of larger quantities, they mostly use the hot press because it will extract more oil out of it. So the cold press not necessarily will give you as much oil as is the hot press. But that kills the fatty acids right there and all the good stuff. So that's why they say cold press extra virgin, that's the top.
Yes, that's reason. But in the past they didn't have
They didn't, so they
cold
used-
press.
yeah.
They only have this
Hot
press.
water. That's in the back. But these days, so that's why when you go, they will have this warm press, but the warm press, hot press will kill most of it. That's why we don't cook with the olive oil. Okay, so this is a whole science behind it. It's really good. So yeah, so I can also teach you a few tricks how you can test the olive oil, but this is what we're doing.